Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Another Parenting Perspective. This podcast talks about ways we can strengthen the parent child relationship through the process of parental evolution. I am Smriti Gopal, an educator, a conscious living, conscious parenting, and a present moment awareness coach. I hope this podcast supports you as you go along parenting. This episode talks about how we parents can fully experience the joy that our bundle of joy brings instead of projecting a bundle of expectations that we carry within us onto them. So let's talk about how to experience the joy that this bundle of joy, which is our child, brings with them. This episode is my favorite. It takes me down memory lane to November 17th, 1995 and July 22nd, 1999. My husband and I were delivered bundles of joy on these 2 days. Although the experience was so unique to each, the feeling that still comes up when I think of this moment is sheer awe and wonder. In her book Atlas of the Heart, Brené Brown says, both awe and wonder are often experienced in response to nature, art, music, spiritual experiences or ideas. I experienced both awe and wonder on the birth of our girls. In the midst of these moments, she says, we can feel overwhelmed by the vastness of something that is almost incomprehensible. She goes on to share the distinction between awe and wonder as stated by researchers who say wonder inspires the wish to understand. Awe inspires the wish to let shine, to acknowledge, and to unite. When feeling awe, says Brené Brown, we tend to simply stand back and observe, to provide a stage for the phenomenon to shine. Stand back and observe, provide a stage for a phenomenon to shine. Isn't this so true for our childbirth? Except that we allow the phenomenon to shine very briefly, only until parenting takes over. These definitions and descriptions are the exact feelings I felt when these two bundles of joy were handed to me. I was in awe of the creation that created this masterpiece. To think that this much work was going on inside me felt so surreal. Those tiny little hands and toes, the tiny face with all the features so chiseled carefully, the process all spontaneously happening, the processes like yawning, crying, or hands and legs punching and kicking, it's all happening. I remember the feel of those tiny little hands, so soft and the toes so smooth, latching on, the crying when they are hungry or maybe because they are uncomfortable, is all just happening. Those tiny button-like eyes, when you look into them, they create so much love within us. I can go on and on. That's the experience of awe, which I'm sure you may resonate with too. However, not long after our bundle of joy has arrives another bundle that slowly starts changing this awe and wonder into control and worry. That bundle is the bundle of expectations. These expectations are a hand-me-down of unquestioned expectations from generations before us. This was done to us, now we do it to our children. Without thinking, without questioning these expectations, they just creep in. We are waiting for the moment we can take control. We swoop in and show the child who is the boss. We determine how much food our child should eat, when they should eat, what they should eat, how much should they sleep, when they should sleep, where they should sleep. All based on preconceived notions and not based on this child in front of us. Even though some of the processes like turning over, crawling, standing, walking, talking, reading are beyond our control, we try to influence and try to hurry up all these processes. We just can't wait for our child to walk, talk, read, and then talk about these with our friends. Raising a child somehow gets transformed into a project in which we parents are seeking some kind of validation. The endless list of expectations goes on. All these expectations are aligned to our conditioning and not aligned with what the readiness of the child is. That's where the joy from seeing this bundle of joy is replaced by worry, stress of when will my child do this, when will my child do that, and so on. Making our child fulfill our expectations, this is what we start calling parenting. We forget providing a platform for our child to shine. We forget watching the phenomenon of shining. We forget the standing back. Instead, we just get busy getting the child to fit in and do what has been done since the Big Bang. Not once considering that this being in front of us is not the amoeba that first appeared. Things have changed, and this child is born into a world that's different from the world even we were born into. Most importantly, what does this child need to fulfill his or her own mysterious mission? Do we even consider the child's own mysterious mission? These questions don't occur unless we are on the conscious path of questioning. This joyful being now has become my child, who must do as I say, since I know better, and after all, whatever I say is in the best interest of the child. We have put ourselves on the pedestal of the all-knower. This makes us self-righteous and therefore shutting us off from who our child truly is, and therefore creating a disconnect between the parent and the child. Then we wonder, what happened to my bundle of joy? When we are unable to see the difference between our child and us, it will be difficult for us to see the differences from child to child. The topmost on this list of expectations is being perfect, according to whatever definition perfection holds in our mind. When you have been blessed with a child who does not fit this picture of perfect, there begins the journey of resistance. This is not what I signed up for. This is not what I want. How could this happen to me? The saga of somehow making this child the so-called normal and fitting. We do everything we can to show the child that he or she is not enough, is damaged, and needs some fixing. And that is why we are having all these expectations, and that's why we are doing everything that we do. All in the name of I know what's best for my child. This feeling of not enoughness will take over the child's life, and let alone fulfilling that grand mission that they were called here for, they forget who they truly are and start wearing masks and adopting ways of being that help them cope with this parental craziness. Pleasing the parent is where a people pleaser is born. We parents still don't see it as it is, and we perpetrate the suffering cycle. The suffering cycle is having expectations, these expectations going unmet, that creating suffering, and again in turn some more expectations and again not being met, and this cycle just goes on and on and on. Like Dr. Shafali, the founder of the conscious parenting method, says, he will still continue to follow the old prescriptions that goes like birth, chop, excel all the milestones, get into the best school, do everything to get into the best college, excel there. And remember, excel is not do your best, it is do better than the rest. Get the best job in the best company, find the perfect wife, husband, have 2 children, preferably a boy and a girl. Now get on their wagon like we did on yours and get them to be the best, perfect, and excel in everything they lay their eyes on. This saga continues. Following this prescription works fine until one of them doesn't happen or happens in a way that we did not envision. That's where the opening to awakening lies. However, we choose to see this as an opening for awakening or a cause for suffering based on where we are on the continuum of consciousness. Therefore, parental evolution is a necessity. There are many opportunities to get out of this prescription and follow the child. Aligning with ours and our child's present moment and what's real and true for our child is always available to us in this moment. My intention in reminding you of this hamster wheel which we all are on, have been, or jump on and off periodically, was not to condemn and criticize. On the contrary, it's an invitation to see things as they are. You may have already started seeing this clearly, or you may be completely oblivious to it. It does not matter where you are because clear seeing and awakening is a continuous process. You can start it anytime. I have noticed on my own journey, just when I think I see things clearly, something else that I have not even thought of appears before me and the excavation continues. What are my expectations? Where did these expectations come from? What previous belief system is it reinforcing? What patterns am I enacting? These and many other questions, self-reflection, self-inquiry are some ways that help me see clearly again, only to reveal something else I had ignored. I have noticed as our children get older and cognitively develop to be able to think for themselves, it is then where a lot starts showing up for us. The questions they ask and the ways of being they need from us will help us see things with clarity and embrace and feel the joy in what is in our experience at the moment, provided we are on the journey of parental evolution. Otherwise, this is where the battle begins. As the small bundle grows into an adult, there will be new lessons to learn. Letting go takes priority then. This is where I am in my curriculum currently. This bundle of joy brings with it a lot of lessons on acceptance, being here, changing narratives, connecting and loving ourselves, finding our own purpose, and so much more. When we learn the lessons offered to us diligently, slowly, respectfully, compassionately, we start to throw away the bundle of expectations which make it possible for us to see the true joy in this bundle of joy in front of us. Thank you for listening. If what you just heard touched you, please share. You can follow me at Smriti Gopal on Instagram and on YouTube, and on the Facebook page Formative Age or Equanimous Coaching. You can find out more about the courses I offer at www.formativeage.in, and you can find out more about the coaching services that I offer at www.equanimouscoaching.com. Until next week, take that most needed pause to keep a check on the parental ego and stay present and alive to discoveries. Thank you and bye-bye.